Of the MOAC try for a season sweep of their cross-county rivals after their first meeting was decided in the final second, as league-leading Pleasant battles the Lady Vikings of River Valley in a rivalry showdown that you can only watch right here on the OH Report. It's live and free girls hoops to tip off your work week, and it's all coming at you next.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Welcome to the Marion County Now Game of the Week, where it's our neighborhood and our news. In Pleasant, visiting River Valley's neighborhood tonight in a key MOAC clash, and you can only watch it right here on the OH Report. I am Brian Skowronski. Abram Kaple is joining me tonight. Rivalry matchup, two teams, they go head-to-head all the time, cross-county rivals, a lot of history between these two teams, and they tend to have a history of boiling these games right down to the wire. So I think everyone's pretty excited for this one to tip off tonight.
No, absolutely, and judging by the score of the last game, and you kind of just shared with me how it ended, I would venture to say that River Valley's been chomping at the bit ever since that last one ended to kind of get back at the Spartans.
Let's tell you a little bit more about these Spartans. The beneficiary of an intentional foul call in the first meeting with less than 1 second remaining. They've been the best team in the MOAC, though, all year. Coming off of a lopsided defeat versus Minster, but they got to play at Hickory High School in Indiana over the weekend, obviously, the site of the Hoosiers movie. So even though it's only their second loss of the season, probably a really cool, valuable experience. Get that bonding time with the girls.
No, absolutely. And listen, Minster is a powerhouse of the southwest part of the state. You know, they've been to the Final Four multiple times within the last 5 to 10 years. So, you know, I love where Coach Pratt was like, hey, we're going to go on the road. We're going to go to a neutral site, create a tournament-like atmosphere, and challenge ourselves against one of the better teams traditionally in the state. So, not that there's a loss that's a good loss, but that's a good loss.
Well said. Miss Avah Steele is our player spotlight tonight. She's an all-around talent, second in the MOAC in scoring average, second on the team in rebounding. And you can just tell when I watch her out here, she's an on-the-court leader. She led him in scoring last year as a sophomore. I mean, this kid's the total package. She can shoot, she can drive. It's everything that you would want in a leader out there on the court.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've talked to area coaches that have played Pleasant, and I've heard everything. The word electric comes to mind. Is she's dynamic with the ball in her hands, and you kind of alluded to some of those leadership skills. So I'm excited to see her play for the first time in person.
We're going to see her out on the floor here in just a moment, and let's now tell you about River Valley and what they've been able to do so far this season. Trying for a fourth consecutive win tonight, kind of emerged from a mid-season rough patch, and they've kind of proven that they belong in the upper tier of the MOAC. They've knocked off a lot of the bottom feeders and just scored a really big win over Clear Fork. So this is a team probably playing their best basketball of the season right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Clear Fork's a really nice team, so just kind of looking at that and looking at some of the losses that they do have. I know the record shows that they're 7-7, but a lot of those losses have been extremely close. So maybe where that record looks like 10-4, 11-3. So they're right on the cusp of being one of those top teams, you know, in the MOAC and in the area.
Our own Emma Bell had an opportunity to catch up with head coach Tim Chiles of the River Valley Vikings. We'll send it down to Emma now to see what Coach Tim has to say.
We're here with River Valley Coach Tim. I just have a few questions for you tonight. What is your plan of attack for defense?
Defensively, we just got to try to limit easy baskets, box out and rebound so they don't get a second chance.
What is the most important quality you would say that your team has?
I think these girls fight every day and continue to fight. It doesn't matter what the score is, winning, losing. They just give everything they have.
Thank you for your time. Good luck tonight. Now back to Brian.
Coach Tim's done such an excellent job with this program, been around for a while, hasn't been able to break through of late in winning an MOAC championship, but that's just because Shelby's been hogging all of them since Coach Lance and that gang has come into the league. But this has definitely been a top-tier team within the MOAC for a long time running, and it all starts with the head guy building a program, and certainly I think Tim Chiles has done an excellent job of that here.
No, he definitely has, and I've always coached against Tim in the summertime. River Valley was never somebody that we had on our schedule, but you could tell right away in the summertime that his program was elite. They did things the right way, and you know looking from afar, they have had year in and year out success. So, and that goes to credit to him and the culture and the tradition that he has built here at River Valley.
Now pause for a moment. The playing of our national anthem. Time for the Star Spangled Banner. So we are just about set for some girls MOAC action right here in Caledonia tonight. Pleasant looking to remain on top of the league, 7-1 right now in the conference against an emerging River Valley squad who all but knocked off Pleasant at their place in the first meeting and looking obviously to score a big home win here tonight. If they are going to be able to do it, they are going to have to ride the latest hot hand, Lexie Hecker, number 5 scorer in the MOAC, top 10 in assists and steals. She's an effective presence at both ends of the floor, and these are the type of kids that you want out there that kind of guide you the entire game, not just on the offensive side, but she'll lock down and play some solid D as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, halfway through, or a little bit over halfway through the season, she's kind of starting to come into her own. And like you said, has kind of been the leader here for the Lady Vikings.
Starters for Marion Pleasant being announced here tonight before they give way to River Valley. Gives us a chance to tell you our keys to victory tonight. We will begin with Pleasant. And I'm going with one and done tonight. River Valley's a solid offensive rebounding team. Limit the second chance opportunities and points. And I think that they can do a nice job of winning in the lane and ultimately win on the road.
Yeah, and my second point is, you know, just kind of looking at some of the scores that Pleasant had put up, they tend to fare better when the score gets into the high 50s and the 60s. So I think that the key for them is to kind of dictate the tempo, play a little bit more faster, more up-tempo than maybe what River Valley wants to, and to kind of get that into the low 60s, I think would be a recipe for success for them.
And as a Lady Vikings starting five is being announced, we'll break down our keys to victory, brought to you by Marion County Now. And just keep it close. They've been in some tight games. We've seen them win games at the end, so I think if they're hanging around at the end, playing at home, obviously that kind of favors getting a victory.
Yeah, and that kind of leads into mine with defending home court. We have a good turnout here despite the weather, despite the bitter cold. And like we said earlier, you know, they're looking to avenge that 1-point loss that they had on the road. So defending home court is definitely something that I think is crucial for them here tonight.
And it's going to be River Valley with the back tap, and they will have the first possession here of the night. As Hecker gives it up, gets some on-ball action here with the screen set by Haley Snyder. As they lob it inside from Madison Ward, is going to be intercepted. So Pleasant pushing the base, and it's off the foot and out of bounds. Still trying for the drive, and just lost it.
Yeah, it looked like Avah Steele was doing one of those high dribble Donovan Mitchell pickups and just kind of lost it there out of bounds. But a good take nonetheless.
Back-to-back turnovers for River Valley, but the same here for Pleasant. As we've got a couple possessions, 4 giveaways in the early portion. Still no shot attempts, as RV, a 3-pack now of turnovers. So 5 in the first 40 seconds of action.
Yeah, not an ideal start, but like you mentioned, you know, crosstown rivalry, probably a lot of emotions, a little jitters. Probably didn't go to school today, so working out the kinks here early on.
Pleasant for sure had a snow day, as many in north central Ohio did, with the frigid temperatures coming through, rough road conditions. So if you're staying at home and watching tonight, we're sure glad that we could bring you this live and free action, as our first shot attempt is off the side of the rim and no good from Olivia Pratt. And the Vikings will look to get into their offensive set, look for their first shot of the night. Here's Hecker off the drive, cut off. And now Snyder off the bounce. Came up just a little bit short.
Yeah, good take there by Hecker. That's 2 for her, where she's been aggressive going to the basket.
That one deflected out of bounds and getting a big cheer is still not a great pass here.
Yeah, so River Valley's in a 3-2 zone here, and Pleasant looks a little confused by just kind of the look that River Valley's given them.
We'll see how the Spartans elect to try to dissect the defense here. As Abe said, kind of easing their way in offensively. They'll get still the wide open top of the key. It spins out. Offensive rebound, second chance points are good here for Emerson Williams. So the first point's coming a couple minutes here into the contest. An aggressive defense by the Spartans. Off the ball screen again, it's tipped away here by Steele. She's got fast, active hands on the perimeter.
Yeah, both teams showing a lot of patience on the offensive end. River Valley, again, doesn't like necessarily what they have, sets it back up. You know, we're 20, 30 seconds into this possession, and they don't appear to be in any hurry.
They go opposite of the Ward screen triple team and a foul call. So the first points for the Vikings just might be some Lexie Hecker free throws. As take a second look on the BS Media Productions instant replay, and drawing a crowd there, and earns a trip to the line. Hecker, a solid free throw shooter, over 70% on the season. Drills them both. Looks like the Vikings might be switching around defenses, maybe not. Kind of disguising the zone a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bottom person is taking away the high post, so that's why it kind of looks morphed a little bit when Pleasant goes to different areas, and I think that's where it's causing a lot of confusion. I'm sitting up here and I'm confused as a coach, but there it is. You know, River Valley forces another turnover.
It's Madison Ward who was able to get a paw on it. So neither offense is executing at a high level just yet, as Hecker misses that, and an offensive rebound secured inside here by Snyder. Vikings moving around the perimeter. Love that ball screen. Lexie now sizing up the defender, got Williams. Yeah, good look inside. Double team for Ward, puts it up anyways. And it'll be knocked out of bounds over to Pleasant. Solid entry pass inside. But you see, I mean, there's 3 defenders swarming around. Might have want to kick that one out.
Still a good entry pass, though, and I like what River Valley's doing on offense. And kind of back to our key points of the game is I feel like they're very much in control of the tempo and the pace of this game as we're 2-2 here, just a little over halfway through the first quarter.
From the high post, Steele gives it up. She'll cut through. It gets tipped again. Clausing this time got a piece of it.
A lot of deflections being caused here by the Lady Vikings.
And you can tell Spartans still having trouble deciphering what's the best way to go about trying to get some clean looks. This is usually a good option right here. Avah Steele gives it up. Clean look from the outside. And an offensive board in the stick back. So Pleasant regains the lead 4-2 as Whitney Waddell does some work inside.
That's a great offensive rebound, and both of Pleasant's buckets have come off offensive rebounds. You know, Waddell there showing a lot of length. Keeping that ball high on the offensive putback.
Vikings looking for an answer here on this offensive possession. And another deflection. It's going to be intercepted here by Obenauer. And she'll take it in and get fouled. So Taden Obenauer taking matters into her own hands here, forcing the theft, and draws the contact on her way to the free throw line. And one thing I love about this gym is the student section right behind the basket.
Yeah, no, this is really cool, and with you know, looks like the majority of the boys team has kind of showed out here. This is my first time to River Valley in a really long time. This is a really nice setup here, like we talked about in the pregame. I love the baby blue court.
Oh yeah, gotta love the colors out here at RV. Who trail it by 3 here, sitting on just 2 points. 2:20 remaining here in the opening frame. Been very patient offensively, haven't forced much yet. But also haven't had very many solid looks.
No, they
at the
really
rim.
haven't. They really haven't. Pleasant's doing a good job, and Avah Steele
with the steal, and she'll go end to end there.
Yeah, super athletic play there. She's got long arms, covers a lot of ground.
And a traveling violation. Let's show you Avah here with that rip and straight to the rack. I mean, the kid's been dominating here in the MOAC for the last couple of seasons. Definitely well on our way to be first teamer, maybe the player of the year in the conference. Just go away from the ball screen, though, this time as the Spartans initiate the offense on the left wing. Very active zone here for River Valley.
Yeah, they've kind of extended it here. Ooh.
Looks like we're going to get a foul on Mila Kenny. Coming over the top, hacking on the arm.
Just a second late there for that steal and kind of bumped into the offensive player there. But yeah, River Valley's extended the zone out, looking like a little bit of Syracuse orange-esque zone as they kind of push it out here to the 10-foot line.
With Boeheim stepping away, they still running that zone? I haven't watched them this year.
I haven't either.
Great take to the 10. Largest lead of the night, 7-point differential now. And this is where the Spartans are at their best, getting after you full court defensively. Vikings able to get through it.
Yeah, this pressure is really kind of starting to speed up River Valley. And
no question.
Like you kind of mentioned, Pleasant definitely wants to kind of speed things up with the pressure, and they've done a good job. And Coach Chills wants to talk it over. Did I say that correctly?
I believe it's Chile's.
Love that place.
Do you? I haven't been to one in, gosh, in a really long time. But they had one of the greatest commercials of all time. With the baby back ribs, barbecue sauce.
Maybe we just go to Tim's house.
I'm sure that he's a great chef. He seems the type.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably talking it over here with his kids just to understand, you know, it was 2-2 and Pleasant's on a little 7-0 run here, but they've all been kind of forced off turnovers, right? When they get them into the half court and make Pleasant run their offense, they haven't been as successful. Those 2 offensive rebounds, but the other 6 or 5 have come in transition just by, you know, River Valley kind of being sped up, and some self-inflicted errors has led to this early 7-0 lead. 7-point lead, I should say.
And the Spartans looking to add to it here as we're the final 45 seconds of a quick moving opening frame. 3 balls up from the corner. No one's been able to knock down a triple yet. Loose ball foul inside, and this will go against Pleasant. And that's going to be the first foul on Olivia Pratt, just the second team foul.
Oh, wow, a lot of contact there.
Yeah, no whistle there against Obenauer. Offensively for the Vikings, looking for someone to kind of step up, and that'll help at least. A foul on the way to the hoop, and they'll get a chance to reset. .24 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1. Solid atmosphere on hand here in Caledonia for this cross-county rivalry. Tough pass, lobbed inside, picked off by Williams. And she'll direct traffic as the clock whittling away down to 8 seconds. Get into the hands of Avah. Now down to 3. The shot is blocked. And that is how the first quarter is going to end. River Valley hanging around, but needing to find a spark on offense.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
One quarter in the books, and it's a 9-2 cushion here. Pleasant on the road, the top dogs right now in the MOAC. And they've got a 7-point lead. I'm Brian Skowronski, Abram Kaple joining me here tonight. Offense a little lackluster on both sides there in the opening quarter as both teams trying to find their footing. But Pleasant making a little bit more out of their opportunities and certainly creating some with 4 second chance points here. And how about a big three?
A huge bucket there for Pleasant to start the quarter, push this lead to 10. But interesting enough, after the made basket, they went away from the pressure, at least from the full court pressure, but still being extremely active here in the half court in their man-to-man.
Trying to match it at the other end. Back iron here for Snyder, but they'll recollect here with the offensive board. Nothing there on the baseline drive for Roseberry. Great move, nice acceleration, and right place, right time for Ward. Bounce right into her paws. So that's the first field goal for River Valley. Belongs to Madison Ward. Looking to try to get a stop here defensively. Pleasant been on a nice run. And getting another clean look. Both teams pretty cold, though, from long range to start.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by what River Valley's in here defensively now. Because Waddell was left wide open on that triple try.
You can't imagine by design. One of their top three-point threats.
Great move there.
Avah Roseberry inside, showcasing the footwork. And back-to-back buckets now for River Valley after not scoring any in the first quarter.
Yeah, maybe that kind of gets them jump-started. I like the little action that they ran there to get her a post touch. Well-executed play there by the Lady Vikings. Yeah, it looks like River Valley's going man, not to interrupt myself.
Switching everything, and how about Ward weak side with the big block against Steele. Clausing, quick first step, knocked out of bounds. RV will keep it. Let's take a second look, though, at that last block shot.
Yeah, Madison Ward sliding over on the help side says, get that weak stuff out of here.
Oh, I miss AC. Reach and foul. This will be the first on either side.
Ooh, yep, she did. Her toe stepped right on the line.
Yeah, this looked like a much more difficult play than it had to be for Hecker, and absolutely.
Always tell your kid to go into the backcourt to get that, because there's no harm if you go back there to inbound it, and then you can start your offense versus kind of confining yourself to that tight area there when you're flirting with the half-court line.
Off the drive, and now the kick out. Little confusion, 2 players in the same spot. Williams eventually comes away. Double dribble is going to be called against Pleasant. And as we check out the replay, that possession, really impressed with River Valley's ability to apply some help defense and not allow anybody to slip through.
No, absolutely. It looked like they're really trying to force Waddell to use her left hand, and she'll drive it left, and then she's spinning back to her right. But anytime she got to put it in her left, she got a little bit of that high dribble and will cause a turnover. So whether that's a scout report or kind of by accident, but give credit to River Valley by making things difficult there.
Looking for another bucket, but just standing her ground that time was Brooklyn Davis. She comes away with the swat. And after knocking down the trifecta to open up the second quarter, nothing yet for Pleasant Sense. Great job there by Hecker to get into the passing lane. She's looking to go end to end, leaves it off in an easy one here for Megan Clausing.
Wow, great pass. I thought she was going to give it up early on the steal, waited till the last second and kind of fooled me and the entire defense. So great pass and a 6-0 run here. Got this game to a 4-point lead.
Pleasant trying to find a response offensively. And a timeout taken by Carry-On Pratt. As you see the 6-3 differential here in the frame. And during this Home and Kitchen Supply timeout, we will take a look into the comment section, both Facebook and YouTube. Got Derek Smith saying, "Go Pleasant, beat the Vikings." Erica Snyder on the other side of the equation. She says, "Go Vikings," and then "Way to go, Maddie." Keep bringing us those comments throughout the night, and every time we get a timeout, we'll jump in there, see what you guys are chit-chatting about. Always love knowing where people are watching from. So if you want to drop us a bomb, if you're out of state or somewhere outside the area of North Central Ohio, do tell. Pleasant's been pretty cold offensively here of late.
Yeah, you have to score this quarter. Well, Steele was on the bench for a good chunk of time there, and things have kind of been a little stagnant with her out of the game. So she's checked back in here, so let's see if that rejuvenates things.
They'll start in the backcourt here with Emerson. And River Valley switching back to their zone look. So Pleasant just hasn't been able to get comfortable or get in a flow yet.
Man, and they've had 3 or 4 of those that have just kind of circled out.
So no friendly rolls here on the road for Marion Pleasant. Just the way the Vikings fans like it. Looking to make it just a 1-point game.
Oh.
Banks not open this late. And still chases down the long rebound. Now here's a quick shot. Too much, and it's one and done yet again. And now a 3-on-2 opportunity. Lexie to the corner. 3 ball on the way. Too much sauce, but Ward inside.
Ooh.
And she gets banged. She's going to head to the line.
Yeah, I thought they were going to no-call that for a second, but from up here it looked like a lot of contact.
Yeah, no question.
Again, River Valley off the long rebound, kind of push ahead. Open transition 3, offensive rebound.
That one very easily could have gone on Whitney Waddell. Instead, it's the second on Avah Steele. So she's going to have to check out again.
Yeah, that's huge. Madison Ward here with one of these to go. Cut this to a single possession game, and So there it is, and she'll check out.
So Pleasant reeling a bit here offensively. And giving it away here again, but River Valley a bit impatient, trying to initiate the fast break. And they'll give it right back. Spartans just look out of sorts here on the offensive end.
Yeah, they really do. They just look kind of stagnant and slightly confused on what to do and how to attack this zone. And River Valley's doing a really good job of disguising it.
And Hecker, that's the third time already she's been able to shoot in the passing lane. And she is down. Favoring one of her ankles, and for Pleasant, exactly what you need to get an easy one going the other way.
Quick 4-point swing there.
And it's 4 points now for Emerson Williams in the game, as that came up well short, inside left hand, and that one won't fall either for Kenny. So the lead pushed back out to 5. Pleasant trying to add to it here as we've got just 70 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Very fast-moving ball game.
There hasn't been a lot of whistles. Not a lot of fouls, not a lot of stoppage of play. Because I just looked up and I was like, man, I can't believe we're almost to halftime, and here Pleasant's going to take the air out of it.
RV's not going to allow it, or at least they're going to come out and pressure. As Davis spins, now she'll kick out. Waddell back to the corner with Davis. And it looks like the Vikings going to switch back to man as that one almost got loose and bounced away from Murphy. But off the missed shot, River Valley opportunity here for the final attempt of the second quarter.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do here with 12 seconds to go.
We'll start it with Megan Klossing off the drive. Kick out, still 6 seconds. 3 on the way, no good. And that is how the second quarter will end. Marion Pleasant leads at 14-9 here at the half. Low-scoring affair in this rivalry matchup. We'll take a quick commercial timeout. We'll be back. We'll break down the first half stats for you guys. Show you a special guest that's in the building here tonight. And then get you all set for quarter number 3. You're watching live and free girls high school basketball on your Marion County Now Game of the Week.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, Start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
We guarantee nobody else gets you closer to the action than our exclusive coverage. So give me a call, Brian Skowronski, and let's make you a part of the game. You're enjoying live and free girls high school hoops on a Tuesday night, thanks to the all-new Marion County Now, our neighborhood, our news. BS Media Productions. If you need a commercial to showcase your business or promote that you are hiring, BS Media Productions is the most affordable, high-quality production company in North Central Ohio. You can find us on Facebook, and that means you get to work with me, your boy, Brian Skowronski. Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen and baths, windows and doors since 1970. And North Central State College, providing individuals with the knowledge, skills, and inspirations to succeed in their chosen paths. We'll be right back with your Marion County Now halftime report. It's halftime here in Caledonia on your Marion County Now Game of the Week. 2 quarters in the books, 14-9 right now is the score in favor of Pleasant. Looking for a season sweep of their rivals, River Valley, here on the road. I'm Brian Skowronski. The great Emma Bell is joining me now. She's been tracking stats for us all game, and we'll go ahead and check those out right now. And not a lot of offense to be had in that first half, Emma. Both of these teams, it felt like, were struggling just a little bit to figure out the other defense. But I think you got to credit the defensive efforts. Both teams very active out there.
Yeah, River Valley definitely with the zone defense too. It seems like Pleasant's struggling a little bit. They're doing a lot of long passes, over the head passes, and it seems like those are getting snatched in the air, which is where a lot of their turnovers are coming from. Pleasant is also, they're moving the ball really well though too, so I give it to them for that. River Valley on the other side for offense, they're moving the ball pretty well too, driving to the hoop a lot, so a low scoring first half, that's for sure.
Yeah, no question. Sitting on single digits here with just 2 quarters left to play, and no 3-pointers yet for River Valley. They've attempted at least 5 by my count, so I think if they're going to have a chance to win here in the second half, probably going to have to knock down a couple of triples, right?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Foul shots, though, River Valley has made 3 out of 4. Pleasant's also made 1 out of 2, so not a lot of fouls either. Only team fouls for River Valley, they totaled in 2, and then team fouls for Pleasant, they totaled in 5 in the first half. So.
All right, that's your stat breakdown, your halftime report with Emma Bell. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you, Brian.
Emma, our star intern from Ohio Northern University. We only get her for another few weeks. She's actually going to be taking off for Australia. Be studying abroad, so very cool opportunity. And looking up in the bleachers, we do have a special guest in the house tonight who has gone missing from the seat that he was in earlier. But Doug, OHSAA Executive Director, wandering around taking it in, and Marion Pleasant, his alma mater, that's where he's from. Gotta like mostly what he's seen, at least the scoreboard right now, through a couple of frames.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I noticed he was at the game the other night that we called the Shelby Pleasant boys game. I saw him walking around. So he coached, right, at Buckeye Central. So I'm familiar with Doug, and I passed him over there across the way and said hi. So.
Who else did you see in the building? Who you chit-chatting with?
Laura Grover. Laura Grover's over there, and like I told you in the pregame, her and Coach Pratt, when we had a couple of our regional and state runs, they would always kind of go and venture off and do some scouting, so I felt like I owed the due diligence to go over and say hi to her, and good to see her. It's been a little bit, so.
Take a quick look at our player spotlights from the first half. Lexie Hecker, just 2 points, the 1 made field goal. She's made most of her plays at the defensive side of things. She's got 3 steals so far, as we'll get a foul here and a couple of free throws on the way for River Valley. And then for Avah Steele, limited interaction out there with the 2 fouls. She also just has the 1 field goal and 2 points. So our 2 top scorers, 2 of the top 5 in the MOAC, didn't do a whole lot of damage in that first half.
No, and give credit to both defenses. Obviously the second go-around, you understand the team's tendencies, their likes, their dislikes, and what they're good at, and you try to take that away. So I'd give credit there. And, there's only 24 total points scored in this game thus far. So there hasn't really yet been an opportunity for somebody to kind of explode.
River Valley capitalizing. Both free throws, money. And looking to extend some full court pressure. Pleasant breaks it down. We'll see if we get a quick shot. Triple team still goes up here from Waddell. And River Valley going to slow it down now with Lexie Hecker walking it in between the circles. She's got Still matched up on her. Spartan sitting in a man-to-man. Clean look, foul line. And that'll rim out and heading the other way. Take a second look. Yeah, it looked like Ward able to get her Go-Go Gadget arm over.
And here's River Valley again, not going away from that zone. I mean, they've had a ton of success with it, so why would you?
Tons of deflections in the first half for the Vikings. And it's kind of been like the Bermuda Triangle, just nobody can really figure out
Great move
how
there
to beat
by-
it, but that'll work. Whitney Waddell with a solid drive to the hoop. She leads all scorers with 6.
She's played well, doing a good job attacking from the high post. And
Finally, River Valley with their first triple of the night.
Haley Snyder, she kind of looked to the sky like she breathed a sigh of relief, like thank goodness that finally went in. So a quick 5 points here between the two teams.
And back down to just a 2-point game. As Still steps into one, back iron. It's Waddell, rather. But Pleasant working the offensive glass will reset.
Waddell and Steele are kind of built the same way. They're really long and
Similar ponytails.
Yeah.
Similar numbers. And two great offensive threats. Veteran Pleasant team, mostly juniors and seniors across the varsity roster. Good look inside. Probably passed up on a solid shot there, did Olivia Pratt.
yeah, you'd like to see one of them almost overpassed and kind of took away the advantage that they had.
Waddell rims that one through. So she's off to a nice start here in the third quarter as Clausing sets up Ward inside, switches to the left and gets it to drop.
Great pass there by Megan Klausing. I think that was her that had the drop off there. And when I was talking to some people across the way, they said that, you know, Pleasant really struggles to score if they can't turn you over. And, you know, River Valley doing a good job there of breaking that pressure. And if you're going to press and you're going to put some people in the front court, there's layups to be had on the back end if you can kind of work your way through it.
Spartans definitely have been limited with their fast break points here tonight.
They kind of ventured to say that they would say 25 points per game come based off just forcing turnovers out of their press.
Avah Steele launches and hits her mark. And now they're trying to turn things up, put the pedal to the metal as Steele comes away with the theft. Lobs it inside, Waddell. Comes back over her right shoulder and she missed it. Tough shot. Well defended by the Vikes. Quick trigger for Lexie. That one came up short. Snyder keeps it alive. But 2 shots, no points. Empty-handed here for River Valley.
Well, the tempo of the game has definitely picked up here in the first 4 minutes of this half. Which just kind of based off what I'm seeing, I think that favors Pleasant a little bit.
Off the backdoor cut, Murphy able to collect and a timeout taken by Coach Pratt. As we're all even here in the third, 7 apiece. And a chance to check out the comment section. Sophia Spengler says shout out to Coach Kaple. Loudonville in the house.
What a year they're having.
Yeah, my gosh. Far and away the best small school team that we have in the area. And
they show no signs of slowing down. They got a big one against Akron Ellet, though,
they do.
on tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think I'm actually going to head up there and check that one out.
That'll be at the Birdcage. OH Report. Pretty sure we're there for a highlight tomorrow.
Okay.
And I see Rachel Bowersock says, yay, Maddie. Kim Snyder went. Haley. And then Carol Olaski says, go Pleasant from Export, Pennsylvania. Pleasant still trying to solve this zone, but they've gotten better looks. Most of them created off of second chances. But that one out of bounds. Spartans fans certainly thought there was a bump there, but I think the ball was already loose before the reach in. As here's a couple bumps here, the step through. Barely getting away is Kenny.
Yeah, good composure there by River Valley. Kind of stuck twice.
And a really tough shot inside there for Mila. Just a freshman though. And we'll get a tie-up jump ball. Solid transition defense there for the Vikings. Everyone collapsing into the paint. 3 defenders there. As Addison Foster checks in place of Maddie Murphy. And not a good pass, deflected immediately by Steele. Showing a lot of composure. She backs it out, looking to survey the defense. Just so many deflections at both ends. And we're going to get a double dribble. I think everybody here on the home side put on their referee cap for this one.
Yeah, it was kind of knocked out of her hand, and she dribbled it once and then pivoted, and it's the right call. It's the right call.
Hecker and Still, heck of a matchup here that we have. Megan thought better of the trifecta. Off the bounce baseline. Help side comes, but the patience pays off.
Great move there. Kept her pivot foot alive, showed a lot of patience, and fooled the defense. A great up and under, and it leads down to 3.
First points of the contest for Mila Kenny. And that one off target, left side of the rim, but again, an offensive rebound. Spartans killing the glass here. Almost got another one. Clausing with the leave off for the freshman. Take another look.
Just mishandled it a little bit. Stays here. Chance to cut this. To one or to tie it. Oh. Man, if Hecker would have just looked at the basket, or excuse me, Snyder, I think she was a little more open than maybe what she thought she was.
And it sets up a wide open 3. Avah off target. And we'll get another tie-up. Possession arrow favors River Valley.
Steele has just 5, and I feel like she's had a lot of clean looks, and you got to think it's a matter of time until 1 or 2 of those kind of start to fall, and she gets rolling.
I'm sure that's certainly how Avah feels. Number 2 scorer in the league. And the possession arrow did show that it would be River Valley basketball. They must not have reset it. So it's going to be Pleasant's rock. Still to inbounds. Vikings in that 2-3 zone and thrown basically right into the hands of Emma Chiles. So again, the Vikings with a chance to tie or pull within 1. Hallie off the attack, lost the handle. Now Snyder again looking to go to work. Still picked her pocket backside, and she'll go end to end.
Yeah, and you can tell that's where she's at her best in transition. Holy smokes, did she get down the floor in a hurry. Oh, no.
Now off Megan's foot. And Pleasant, who just pushed their cushion up to 5, looking to add to it. And you can tell the aggression level here for Avah Steele is starting to pick up. So we'll get a foul on the baseline drive, and we'll look back at that last rocket shot, just slung shot end to end.
Yeah, she looks like she's one of those kids that's faster with the basketball, if that makes sense. Like, there's some kids that, like, when they get the ball in their hands, all of a sudden they just have another gear to get to, and that's kind of what that looks like for her.
Ava's done a nice job here in the third quarter of avoiding picking up that third foul.
But still being aggressive, you know what I mean?
Speaking of aggressive, how about the defense there by River Valley? And this jump ball certainly will get them the rock back. This was a good catch, but anytime the ball's gone in the lane, we've seen the Vikings suffocate, send 2-3 defenders down. Nearly an over and back violation here. But it's the Vikings with the basketball in the hands of Hecker. Down to 7 seconds. Now Clausing. Lexie off the kick out. It's good if it goes, and it will drop at the horn for Ava Roseberry. Sending us to money time, and we've got just a one-possession game. Just 1 quarter remains here in Caledonia. That's right, money time has arrived here. It is fourth quarter action, and we've got just a 1-score ball game. Pleasant with the rock, and they lead it by 3. I'm Brian Skowronski. Abe Kaple joining me here tonight. It's just barely past 8:15. Unbelievable how fast this game has gone by, but it's what we all expected as that shot from the short corner comes up short for Pratt. It's a tight one. These two teams, this is what they've done the last several meetings getting together. It all boils down to the final frame.
And I think if River Valley can maintain their composure and dictate the tempo of this fourth quarter, I think there's an opportunity here for them to kind of steal one away from the league leaders.
Foul on the entry pass, though, here from Avah Steele. And this is going to land Emerson Williams on the line.
The difference in this game, though, so far has been Waddell. She's done a really good job on both ends, in my opinion. Has 8.
Her and Steele have combined for 15 of the 23.
Yeah. Well, she's done a good job, too, and some of those stats that don't show up. She's got a handful of offensive rebounds to extend possessions, things of that nature. But, I mean, at the same time, with the 3-point lead, I think River Valley's right where they want to be, within striking distance here.
And misfiring on both. So an empty trip to the charity stripe right there. And River Valley already had a couple of nice looks at the rim, showing some patience. And trying to get a great shot, not just a good one. Lexie with the blow by to the rack, and her shot is blocked. Waddell coming from the weak side, sends it ahead. Emerson missed it in tight on the run out. So a missed opportunity for Pleasant on the fast break. And a tie-up will keep it down here. Show you the block shot one more time, though. Thought Lexie was going to have an easy deuce. Nah.
Yeah, great help side defense there to prevent an easy layup.
Megan turns, tough shot, deflected right into the hands of her teammate. And now Ward creating some space. Ooh. And that one's kind of forced up by Avah. And
great pass, though, by Ward on the pivot.
I'm with you.
Kind of drops it off here.
And Avah Steele.
Yeah, good recovery to get a hand on it, looked like.
Waddell with the defensive board. Going from end to end, setting up this trifecta. Pratt misfires. And neither team, obviously, we've only got 43 combined points here, have shot it well from beyond the arc. Both have just made one triple, actually two for Pleasant. Still, I think she knew she was going to try to Euro step that all the way.
Mm-hmm.
So Ward stood her ground.
Yeah, good job by Ward just to kind of stay set.
Long rebound comes out to Clausing, the floater off target. Ward inside, and she's got a couple free throws in her future. Big minutes right now for the senior Madison Ward.
She's played really well here in this fourth quarter. I know it's only been a couple minutes, but being active on both ends of the floor, and you've called her name now a couple times, gets to the free throw line to trims the lead to 2.
Couple fresh bodies checking in here for the Vikings. Emma Chiles. And also the freshman Mila Kenny. Two for two on that trip. Just a 1-point game. Final 5 minutes, 40 seconds here in Caledonia. Pleasant 7-1 right now in MOAC play. Trying to stay on top of the league.
Yeah, and you got to think the Shelby Whippets are somewhere watching this game with a lot of intent.
Shelby, actually, they got their hands full tonight. They're at Pete Henry Gym taking on Mansfield Senior, the #1 team right now in their district, according to the Max Prep rankings, and I think they're 13-1, so it makes sense. How about that? Chili's, like a safety watching traffic switch, picks it off, sets up the freshman Kenny. Great look, not a good looking shot though, and whoa!
Oh, wow.
Scoop, there it is. How about the air underneath that shot? Cameron Cockerell.
Just a freshman and a huge bucket there.
Oh, and a tough break here for River Valley. Couple hops off of either side of the rim. It won't drop. Cockrell again. She's not shy. Puts it right up. She had a phenomenal junior varsity game here tonight.
Yeah, a little bit of a heat check there. Honestly, I would have too after that made layup.
Pleasant just buying a little time for both Waddell and Still over on the bench, catching a quick breath. Oh, what a move. And Pratt can't bury what would have been a huge triple. Get a home and kitchen supply timeout taken here by the Vikings. As we've got 2-2, the score so far here in the quarter. And we see Gretchen Horner says, "Let's go, Olivia. Go, Lady Spartans." That's on Facebook, over on YouTube. Mark says, why venture out in the cold when you can stay in and listen to Abe in the color commentary?
Who said that?
Mark
Ebescott.
Ebescott.
That's awesome.
Jacob Bever says, let's go Pleasant. And Chip, good game swin. Can't really decode that one, but what a game we've got on our hands here, folks. Has not been the prettiest offensively, but both of these teams been getting it after it from the jump. Plenty of high-energy defensive possessions. And it is boiling down to the final few minutes here of regulation. Key possession here for River Valley out of the timeout.
I will say this, Brian. I think my keys to victory are really holding true with just a little bit of time left in this game. I said dictate the tempo for Pleasant. That's where they've had success.
Facts.
And defending the home court for River Valley. They're doing a great job here. I know it looks like a football score, but
by any means necessary in a rivalry game, the score matters not. It's the check in the W column. Avah fresh off the bench, had to go down to her knees. Man, athletic play to keep it alive. It sets up the freshman in another heat check. Didn't love that one from Cockrell.
no, maybe a little early in the possession for that type of shot, but
Here's Kenny looking to dump it down inside. Certainly had Hallie Snyder calling for it. Not a place where Ward is real comfortable, but Megan off the drive, weak side, Avah Steele. Swat you very much.
I like to see Hecker come back into the game here for River Valley. They looked a little out of sorts on that possession without their senior point guard, their leader. I know he's trying to get her a quick blow here before the last 3 minutes of this game, but pivotal to have her on the floor during this time. River Valley now showing the pressure.
Here's Cockrell going straight to work, up and under. Missed her last three. Meanwhile, Megan on the fast break. See if this is a shooting foul. Quick speed for Clausing. And they're going to say the bump was on the floor. It's going to be the second foul here against Williams. Just 2 team fouls. Quick shot, and Clausing finds the bottom. Big bucket for Megan. Pushes her point total up to 4.
Down to 1 point. I like that little set that they just ran on that baseline out of bounds play.
Deep lob into the corner. Clean look. Williams buries a ginormous 3.
Yeah, ginormous is the word there for that one.
Points have been at such a
flipped out of her
premium.
hand.
Lexie short arm the pass, and Clausing last to touch it, but let's take a look at this 3-pointer on the last possession. Kaboom, big shot. Makes it a 2-possession game, under 2 minutes to play.
The skip pass over the top of the zone to a one more. That's a great ball movement by Pleasant.
Another wide open 3, back-to-back killers. First points for Olivia Pratt tonight. And Hecker, she's going to go to the free throw line. Boy, I mean, where's the defense? They've been so good all night.
They have, and just a miscommunication in what seems like to be on back-to-back possessions. It goes from 1 to 7 like that, and in a game like this where points have been at a premium for the last hour, I mean, those are gonna be key here. Coach Pratt wants to talk things over.
And it's going to be a full timeout. See if we got any new comments coming in. don't see any Abe, so we'll just have to try to break down what we've seen here. Yeah, it was a 5-2 advantage here in the fourth quarter before the last 2 offensive possessions for the Spartans, and I think that's only the second time tonight that we've seen a team with back-to-back made field goals. Talk about saving it for the right time here when it matters most, and could push Pleasant to victory here on the road.
Yeah, I mean, you used the word ginormous, and it literally couldn't be any more of a perfect word to describe what those were, because there's essentially been a lid on the basket for Pleasant from behind the three-point line literally the entire game. And those are huge. And like you said, Olivia Pratt getting on the board for wow, I cannot talk. Her first 3 couldn't come at a bigger time for her and her teammates.
River Valley still, though, with a pulse in the game. Plenty of time to try to erase a 6-point deficit, and might even be 5 after the shot here from Lexie Hecker. And the senior does what she needs to do, buries both. Now it'll be about taking care of the basketball here for the Lady Spartans. And Clausing actually will come away with the rip. She steps back, free throw line. Big miss right there. Could have cut it back down to a single possession. It's going to be the 4th team foul against River Valley.
Yeah, Pleasant doesn't need to be in a hurry here. I mean, use the clock to your advantage. Use the foul situation to your advantage. I'm not saying you take your foot off the gas entirely, but I'm looking for a layup or nothing else here.
See if River Valley elects to run and jump here defensively right now, just sitting down man-to-man. And a foul on the way to the basket here for Avah Steele. Crucial free throws on the way. A couple makes, might all but ice this.
Yeah, and what you can do here out of a free throw is, Pleasant has the opportunity to kind of get into some pressure, right? I would venture to say it wouldn't be super aggressive, but just kind of something to make River Valley use some ball reversals to work their way across the timeline and eat some clock here. But I wouldn't expect anything super aggressive to give up a layup on the back end.
Second one's good, allowing the Spartans to get into their full court action.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of miscommunication as to what they were supposed to be in.
Vikings got to get to work quick. 63 ticks, Hecker lets it fly.
Got a good look at it.
Jump ball stays down at this end. Vikings probably got to score every shot that goes up from here on out. Snyder off the drive, kicks out, Clausing left alone.
Man, another really good look at it.
Yeah, wide open was Megan Clausing.
She just kind of put her hands on her hips and be like, man, I just can't buy one tonight. I mean, she had a great look, and, River Valley kind of forced a foul here, hoping for a couple missed free throws by Steele.
She misses the first again.
Still a 2-possession game. And still, River Valley, you can go quick and you can get a layup. You don't got to come down and shoot the first 3 that you get. Maybe now you do. You stretch to a 3-possession game.
We'll start it in the hands of Hecker. Leaves it off. Transition triple. Big shot here for Snyder. And a quick timeout from Coach Tim as his team pulls back within 4. Exactly what the doctor would prescribe right there. A quick 3, about as fast as they could have got it.
Yep, best case scenario out of that possession, and see if you can get a 5-second call or a quick turnover here.
See Gretchen Horner back into the comment section, says, "Stay strong, Lady Spartans." Be a huge win for them and would end River Valley's 3-game win streak. Pleasant just had an 8-game win streak snapped against Minster, playing in the Hoosiers' house.
What a cool experience for them.
I bet. If the Spartans win tonight and our MVP is from Marion Pleasant, definitely got to ask about that. Quick hands, knocks it out of bounds for Roseberry. And it kind of pushes Pleasant over in the corner now. Can't run that baseline.
You want to be careful inbounding there. You don't want to throw it underneath your own basket either.
More active hands, and they'll have to do it all over again.
Snyder is long over top of the ball there. Oh, now they take her off the ball.
Hallie kind of playing center field, and it forces Pleasant to have to burn another timeout.
Listen, and these situations are tough. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different type of press breaker when everybody's kind of being denied. And like you said, Snyder kind of playing center field as like a rover, and she can just kind of like QB spy. Pleasant has to use a timeout. So I don't know how many they got left.
Doesn't say on the big board here. I think at least one. I don't think they've used them all yet.
What we would do in these situations when we would kind of start 3 people at half court and then have our point guard start at the free throw line and go to like back screen, and we would slip it. Kind of fake that screen, because a lot of times in these situations, like River Valley's probably switching everything. So if you can get a miscommunication with a slip, a lot of times it'll allow you an easy inbound. We always had a lot of success doing that. But you can see they changed their alignment here, so they got 2 up and then 2 at half court.
So spread out a bit. Vikings do indeed switch, and here comes Steele into the front court.
Ooh.
And she'll get fouled. A little push into the back.
And you would kind of think, based on what happened the last time, I mean, it's tough when the ball's in front of you, how to foul correctly,
sure,
without making it look malicious. And
boy, Ava's missed the front end 3 straight trips. Could have closed the door, basically.
it's the same reference I was going to use. The door is still open.
She had buried the second and continues that trend. So the lead back up to 5. Looking for the trailer, and it's off the foot of Hallie Snyder. Vikings gotta force a turnover here. Ava dribbling her way through traffic, sends it ahead for Waddell. Now you gotta wrap her up.
I think River Valley was trying to foul in the backcourt, and they just didn't feel there was enough contact to call it.
Kind of deja vu at the end of the first meeting, as you were alluding to.
Pleasant student section feels pretty confident as they head for the doors.
They've seen enough. They say warm up the bus. We're going to head out. But that window's still slightly ajar.
That it is. It's honestly one of the best chants that a student section can have. Start the buses.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that dates back to my days in the early 2000s. I've been hearing that for a long time. And how about that? 2 misses. Still just a 5-point game. Lexie.
Oh, and it looked good from here. We had a perfect angle looking at that.
Yeah, it really did. It was on line. And that would have put a lot of pressure on Pleasant. Vikings get it back in bounds. Quick shot off the drive. And that's good if it falls, and just a bit too little, too late. Marion Pleasant coming on the road, and they will sneak out of here. A 34-32 victor to move to first place, all on their lonesome at the top of the league standings with 8 victories. We will take a quick timeout. When we return, we will have your most valuable player interview, also get you some final stats, and give you some of our analysis of what we saw tonight. This is your Marion County Now Game of the Week. Another good one in the books.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
We guarantee nobody else gets you closer to the action than our exclusive coverage. So give me a call, Brian Skowronski, and let's make you a part of the game. Just enjoyed another exciting Marion County basketball game live and free thanks to the good folks over at Marion County Now, your brand new source for news for all things in Marion County, and of course live and free sports with our partnership here on the OH Report. Also, big thank you to Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen and baths, windows and doors since 1970. North Central State College, providing individuals with the knowledge, skills, and inspiration to succeed in their chosen paths. And BS Media Productions, if you need a commercial to showcase your business or promote that you are hiring, BS Media Pros is the most affordable, high-quality production company in North Central Ohio. Check us out on Facebook. We will be right back with your OH Report player of the game. It's going to be Miss Whitney Waddell of Marion Pleasant. And then Abe and I will wrap things up final stats and analysis. Now back with our most valuable player of the night, Whitney Waddell, joining me after a razor-thin win here at River Valley. And it seems like when you two teams get together, there's always close games.
Yeah.
How much fun has this rivalry been throughout your entire career?
It's been super fun. Like, I know for at least the senior class, we all know each other. We've played with each other since, like, elementary to upward days. Like, we've been together since kindergarten playing together. So it's always just been a really close, really good rivalry. No matter what our records are, we always end up right back to back, like, to the nail, like, to the end of it. It's always a really good game, really competitive.
Well, you've got the best record in the league so far, and with Shelby being out of league tonight, you take a half-game step above them right now in the conference standing. So to be at this point in the season where we're past the midway point and you guys are the leaders right now, is this what you envisioned at the start in the preseason?
Yeah, so one of our biggest goals was to get to the top of our MOAC and then go far in the tournament. And so right now we're at a really good spot in the MOAC. We just have some really tough teams coming up.
Yes.
We got Clear Fork, we have Shelby, Ontario. Like, it's not going to be easy, but we're going to just battle in and stay on the top, hopefully. So just keep our goals up. We keep reminding them every day of what our goals are and what we want to accomplish this season.
Over your last 10 games, 9 wins for you. The only loss coming at the house over there in Indiana.
Yeah.
So tell me about getting the opportunity to play there in Hickory. And even though you guys lost, like, how cool was it in that environment?
Oh, it was super cool. So a lot of us haven't watched the movie before, so we the week before we had a community event where we all got to go to our school theater and we all watched it as a team, and it was super cool. Like, when we went to the gym, we went the day before and had an hour practice just to get used to the area, and it was super cool. Like, we could tell, like, we saw different parts of the movie, and we were like, oh, like, that scoreboard is still here. Like, it was just
Wow.
super cool. Just to be able to recognize all the different things of the movie and being able to actually play there. It was a great, really great opportunity.
Did Coach take out the tape measure and show you that the rim is still just 10 feet tall? Any of that?
She does a lot of quotes, though. Like, she does the I love you guys and don't get dry in the paint, or is that what it is? I think. Something with the paint part, yeah.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen the movie in a little while
Yeah.
either. Well, let's quickly talk about just kind of that fourth quarter. Things got a little bit tight, and then you guys make back-to-back threes. Like, how big did that feel when offense was so tough to come by?
Yeah, it was super relieving, I think, especially because we were missing a lot of shots, and I think our rebounds helped a lot. Like, we had a lot of big-time rebounds at the end of the game, and so making those 2 shots, like, that really just fueled the fire, and we were able to kind of, like, keep our composure more now that we weren't so antsy, like, oh, it was only a 1 point or 1 possession game. But it was a lot of the little things at the end of the game that we were able to do, like the rebounds. We got a lot of steals and just deflects. Like, the little things really brought us to the end.
Yeah, you guys did exactly what you needed to do when it mattered the most there at the end of the game. So congratulations, getting another
Thank you.
key win, heading into another big game against Clear Fork, as you alluded to. But now's your moment. If you want to look into the camera, give any shout-outs.
Shout out to my family and my mom and dad and my aunt and uncle and my grandparents for coming to all my games and your continuous support and everything that I do.
All right, Whitney Waddell, your OH report, player of the game.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-747.
Welcome you back now for our Marion County Now post-game show, and another nail-biter between the Vikings and Pleasant. And at the end of the night, it is a season sweep here as the Spartans get it done, moving to 14-2 on the season. I am Brian Skowronski. Abram Kaple was on the call with me here tonight. And you see the final score. It's tight, not a whole lot of points, but Obviously, there was a ton of energy, lots of effort here in the building tonight. It just felt like shots weren't falling, but defensively, I thought both teams were really good, did some nice things.
No, absolutely. And kind of like you said, give credit to each coach, right, in terms of putting together a game plan to make their team be successful. And obviously there was a lot of emphasis and a lot of focus on the defensive end, trying to take away each other's strengths. And you know, River Valley wanted to dictate the tempo and play extremely slow. And that's why the score was in the 30s. Yes, there were shots that were missed, but at the same time, that was very much intentional from what River Valley wanted to do in trying to keep it low scoring. So, but like you said, a county rivalry, a league clash, a big game for both teams, especially with what happened the first go-around.
Sure.
A very intriguing game, despite there not being a ton of points scored.
Yeah, a 1-point victory for the Spartans in the first meeting, a 2-point victory here on the road tonight as we dive into the final stats of the evening. And the biggest statistic, in my opinion, is the 4 3-pointers, 2 of those coming from the Spartans with about 2 minutes left in the game on back-to-back possessions. I believe that was the only time on the night where they scored on consecutive possessions. Those obviously were huge.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've won games ugly. There's tons of other teams and coaches. It doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, it goes in the left-hand column, and they move to 14-2. And you hit the timely threes, regardless of what happened the first 28 and a half minutes of that game. The 2 that went in came at a really big time, definitely swung the momentum, and essentially kind of closed the door on back-to-back possessions, within just 2 minutes to play there.
Vikings had a chance down the stretch. They missed a couple of critical shots, also turned it over 20 times. And for the Spartans, the one thing you probably can't feel very good about was just your free throw shooting in the clutch, because they had their best players at the line, Avah Steele especially, and she wasn't able to really just like slam the door shut right in River Valley's face. 4 of 12 here tonight. Another storyline to take away, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But if you look at the flip side, River Valley not a ton better at 6 for 10. And,
sure.
When Avah Steele's at the free throw line and she had those misses kind of late, you could tell by her body language she was frustrated with herself.
No doubt.
Those are shots that she normally makes. Those are shots that she wants to take, being the leader of this team, and carrying the burden to lead them to an MOAC title. Unfortunately didn't go, but had teammates hit those 2 threes like we just talked about to kind of pick her up. And again, regardless, it doesn't matter how you got there. It goes to the left-hand column, and you're leaving a county road game on the road. You're leaving here with a W.
For River Valley, an opportunity to bounce back. They're going to be on the road, but Harding really struggled this season. So just quick thoughts on them moving forward for the rest of their year. I think they've kind of proven that they're definitely a top 4 team in the league. They can compete, and this will be an opportunity for them to win their 4th in their last 5 tries.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking about River Valley.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, just to kind of like, looking at their scores, and like I said in the pregame, a lot of their schedule, they've been right there, right? And so it's just a matter of time. And honestly, you're trending towards playing your best basketball, and you want to be playing the best that you can possibly play at the end of January and early February as you head to that tournament draw, and you want to be feared when those coaches are at that selection table and you're kind of picking the lines to where you want to be at the tournament draw. And if I'm sitting there and I'm in that district, I do not want to play River Valley right now. And that's what Coach Tim Chili's is preaching to his kids right now. Hey, we're right on the verge. We're going to turn this corner. We're going to turn at the right time, and we're going to make noise in the tournament. And ultimately, that's kind of what you play for. The MOAC title is probably out of reach for them, so you kind of readjust your goals and look at, hey, I want to cut down a net in the sectional, and I want to get a chance to play for a district championship.
Yeah, great points there. And for Pleasant, they have an opportunity to try to get even. Their only loss so far on the season in the MOAC against Clear Fork. They've got them coming over to their place. They've probably been talking about this matchup for a couple of weeks at least.
100%. In Clear Fork and Scott Sellers over there, they're no joke, right? They want to defend. They want to shoot a lot of threes. It's a little bit different, style of basketball than maybe what we saw tonight. But yeah, with that being their only loss, it's definitely circled on the calendar, and they're excited to get them at home, to say the least.
That is going to wrap up our coverage, though, here from Caledonia. Another great game on our Marion County Game of the Week. And actually, we've got bonus action because we are going to be at that game on Friday night. Big shout out, of course, to Marion County Now for being our new partner here, bringing you guys action from the Marion area. Also want to shout out BS Media Productions, our parent company, Home and Kitchen Supply, and North Central State College, along with Spherion Mid-Ohio. For my fantastic crew here tonight, Emma Bell, tracking stats, doing some reporting for us, as well as Brandon Powell running our camera. I'm Brian Skowronski for Abram Kaple, saying so long from River Valley. We'll see you tomorrow. More live streams, plus Coach's Corner and the Joe Show, all coming your way. But for tonight, for now, we're out of here.